Okay. All right. New season. So it's always good to start off um, in the division, in my opinion. Start off the right way, playing New York. Um, it starts with the play caller. Mike is going to call it, and he has flavor from Kansas City. But what they've been doing there, I know he's been a trusted guy for Dayball for a while. So I don't anticipate too much being different, but we're going to do our due diligence there. The quarterback, Russ, has experience of being one of the best deep ball throwers in the league since he's been in the league. And so with the weapons that he has outside, that makes it a challenge. I think Tracy is a really good runner. He has patience. He has really good contact balance. He can find the cutback. Really good patience, and the lines working together from this preseason to create those holes for the runners. So it's going to be a good, fun challenge for us, and we're excited. We're excited to finally get into football and games that matter. Not saying that preseason doesn't, because it does in its own right, but these games start counting for what we're trying to do. So with that, I'll have any questions.
With Malik Nabers, what makes him so dangerous as a receiver, and do you feel you're better equipped to defend a guy like that this year?
What makes him dangerous is he's a really good athlete. Okay, to run after the catch is what he probably does best. Once he gets the ball in his hands, he is very dangerous. He can lead people. He has power to run through arm tackles. So that makes him dynamic. He can catch the ball in different planes as well. He's one of the better young receivers in the league. Are we better equipped to cover him this year? We'll see on Sunday.
Along those lines, what do you like about that secondary from what you've seen this summer?
If you've been out there at practice, and we have to bring our practice to the game field. We've been really sticky. All right, we've challenged press, been more of what I envision of our secondary being than what we were necessarily last year, from a standpoint of just being very aggressive and getting up. And so I've been pleased with the way that those guys have challenged routes and turned the ball over and communicating and doing those things.
What have you seen from Vaughn in your limited time with him? And is there at all a challenge for you in sort of balancing where he's at in his career with what he's capable of doing? That makes sense.
Well, Vaughn, he's a professional. He's come in and really helped all the guys with all the knowledge that he's had over the years. I was with Julius Peppers later in his career when he came to Green Bay, and they're very similar with, very good pass rushers. They're different guys, but very good pass rushers. And so Vaughn still has a really, very fast first step. He can bend. He's quick. And so all those athletic ability things he still has, and then with his knowledge, I'm excited to watch him play on Sunday.
And then with Dorance, he seemed to have a really good camp. In what ways did you see him take another step this year?
A complete football player. He's not just a rusher. He's not a guy that just can play to run. He can do it all. He can play on first and second down outside. On third down, you can kick him inside. You can play, a 6 technique, 9 technique with him, 3 technique. He's just a complete football player. He's a really smart man. I know he doesn't say a lot, but he can communicate. And when we're running games or when we're changing things up front, he can communicate that with the other D linemen. So he's one of the leaders on this defense. And he's had, like you said, he's had a hell of a camp. So it's going to show up.
Coach, when you look at the defense as a whole and going into the regular season, what has pleased you most about this defense?
From practice, and practice is practice, it's just the play style. All right, we've been very aggressive, very intentional with what we've been doing. The communication is light time, just better than what it was at any point last year, and so I've been just pleased with how the guys are connected and playing as one, and playing with the aggression and the downhill mentality that we want to play with.
Could you talk a little bit about your run defense and what you've seen there?
We like I said, during the offseason, we were changing some of the techniques up front, and then we had added some players, and I think the D-line coaches have done an excellent job of getting the guys to understand how we want to play it, how we want to hit blocks. We have some larger, longer men up front that have the ability to do some of the techniques that we're going to ask them to do. So I envision that we're going to be much improved in the run area.
Can you share a bit about the linebacker position group and what you've seen from them through training camp and then, of course, expectations for going into the season?
You know, when you have Bobby and Frankie, leading the linebacker core, I mean, they're two of the best linebackers in the NFL. And so that's basically what you've seen is those two guys bonding together, working together. And then, Jordan missed a lot of training camp, but he has, when he comes back, he's just picked up where he left off, which was in a good place. And then we have the young guys, and the young guys are in a learning phase right now. And hopefully they won't have to get out there because we have the lead dogs playing.
Hey, Joe, good morning.
Good morning.
Talk about the secondary. I swear this is not a game plan question.
Okay.
But last year you guys, and candidly, didn't always have enough maybe cornerbacks out there to feel comfortable to do what you said you wanted to do. I think it's the opposite problem this year, plus the safety room. How does a coach sort of navigate? Yeah, you want to have certain people out there in certain packages, but you have three corners that you probably maybe want on the field at all times. You have multiple safeties. How do you kind of navigate that, the talent versus the scheme, as you kind of go through that?
You know, back when I was in Green Bay, I think it was in 2014, we had a very, very talented secondary room. And I think out of that room, maybe through their career, 7 guys made Pro Bowls. You know what I'm saying? It was a very talented room. You had Micah Hyde, Casey Hayward, Sam Shields, Tramon Williams, Morgan. You had a ton of guys. And what I would go in there and tell those guys is the best guys play and the other guys will watch. And that's just what it is. So the guys that deserve to play, they'll go out there and play. And we'll put packages for people to get, guys on the field. But what I'm not going to try to do is to appease a guy, hurt the defense with trying to just get a guy on the field. No, get yourself into the package and you'll play, and we'll go from that standpoint there. So it's a good problem to have, but I'm not going to try to make somebody happy just to play them and hurt the defense. That's not going to be a part of what we do.
Sticking with the secondary here, saw a lot of good stuff from Trey Amos during camp as he gets ready for his first game. Kind of what looks like a successful game for him. Are there certain ways that you'll give him help early on to kind of get him acclimated to NFL?
That is a scheme question there. Trey had a good camp, okay, and we're and Jason Simmons has done an excellent job with him, and we're gonna put him in positions that are beneficial to him. But I'm not gonna tell you if we're gonna help him or not. We'll see that on Sunday.
Coach, you talked about the length and the size of your defense, and you can clearly see that visibly. Do you feel like the speed that goes along with that, do you feel like now you have really the pieces that you need to be able to implement a fast and free type defense?
Yeah, I think the speed's right there with the length and the size of the men. Especially on the back end, you have an older guy in Jonathan Jones, but he still can run like a deer, and Amos can run, and Trey's healthy, so not Trey, but Marshawn's healthy, so, you'll be able to see his ability to hit the top end speed. So to answer your question, yes, I think we have what we need to go out here and play really good defense.
Hey, Joe, over here. I know numerous times last year you expressed your frustration of not being able to finish games, getting off the field, fourth quarter, getting those turnovers. How has that become a point of emphasis over the last couple of weeks training camp, and what type of improvements do you think we're going to see with this defense getting off the field and finishing games?
Practice is practice, and we have to bring it to the field. But when we've had competition periods and done things such as that, we've done a really nice job. And so if we can do what we've done on the practice field on Sunday and on every game day, we'll be in the pocket that we need to be in. I've seen it in practice. Now we just have to do it in games. In practice last year, we weren't turning the ball over. We weren't beating the offense in those situations. It has been different this year.
Talked about Russ's deep ball ability, kind of throws that moon ball. Is he still able to drop it in the bucket at this point of his career like he was previously, and how hard is that to defend?
He hit one against us last year, and won the damn game. So it was a bad call by me. And so because I understand, I know I've been against him enough to know that that's what he does best. And make that call in that situation wasn't very smart. So, no, he can do it. That's what he does best. He throws the ball really good outside the numbers deep. He gives his guys a chance to go make a play, and not just gives them a chance to make a play. He places it very well on those deep balls. So he's one of the best that's done it, and he's done it for a very, very long time.
Hey, Joe, you mentioned Vaughn. You added some experienced guys like him to a unit that was already pretty experienced. This might be a simplistic question, but what changes for you as a coordinator when you have so much experience on that defense?
That's a good question. I don't think it's a very simplistic question, but what changes for me, I think, is the way that the guys study. So I can put a little bit more on their plate, because when you have veteran guys, not only Vaughn, but a Dietrich Wise, Jacob Martin, they know how to study. They're not just rookies that are just watching film. They understand how to study film, and so you can give them more nuggets and more nuances to the defense than you could give a younger type defense.
Joe, do you think you've added more playmakers to take the ball away more this year? Is that something you'd like to see?
I would definitely like to see us take the ball away more, but we'll see. I think we've turned the ball over a lot in camp. We've had a number of interceptions. We've punched the ball out, but that's practice. Okay, all right. It has to translate to the game. Am I confident that it will translate to the game? I am. All right. But until we do it and do it on a consistent basis, it's still up in the air. But we have to do it. All right. Y'all have a great one now.